Right, good morning, everyone. It is correct that we have in place a very deliberate process where we are interviewing people, we are assessing sites. We started off, I think, with round about almost 150 sites, and we were beginning to look at 7 of them. Actually, the sites that we've got as a result of information now is closer to 1,000 in the whole of the country. We've looked at many of those, but nothing like a majority of them. It's true we're interviewing scientists and others, but our first priority has got to be to stabilise the country. The second is the humanitarian situation. And the third, and we can take our time about this, and so we should, is to make sure that we investigate the weapons of mass destruction, and we will do that. And as I say every time I'm asked, I remain confident they will be found.
Custody now for a couple of weeks. You have a lot of people on the ground there, and the most sophisticated intelligence.
In respect of the first, I think for those people that have committed serious crimes, we're still in discussion with the Americans, with others, as to what the appropriate way to proceed is. I have to say to you, I'm absolutely mystified by the Tariq Aziz story. I do not think there is any possibility of that happening. As far as I'm aware, no such plan has ever been under discussion anywhere. So simply say to you about that. And I think people would rightly regard it as a very odd thing to do.
Said President Chirac about a European defence dimension, let the genie out of the bottle. And do you...
I mean, I simply say to you, I mean, and honestly, there's no way I've got of verifying all of this at the moment. But as more intelligence emerges, in particular from inside Iraq and from their intelligence, the former Iraqi intelligence unit, I think you will find increasing evidence of links between the previous Iraqi regime and terrorist organizations.
Trust, you have to make some concessions. Are you not prepared, for example, on foundation hospitals, to make some concessions to their anxiety?
It's a meeting between 4 member states. I think there are 15 in the European Union, so we're not, we're not in a situation of uniquely not having been invited to this. We'll wait and see what comes out of it, but we won't accept, and neither will the rest of Europe, accept anything that either undermines NATO or conflicts with the basic principles of European defence that we've set out. And on the contrary, European defence was already an issue. What we have done is ensure that Britain does not have an empty chair in that debate, but is there making sure that European defence develops in a way that is compatible with NATO. And I simply repeat, European defence is necessary. There will be circumstances in which the United States of America does not want to become engaged. In those circumstances, Europe's got to have the capability to act. We would be absolutely mad to drop the private finance initiative. It is building hospitals around. President Bush himself was committed. I mean, this is a question obviously you should ask him, but I think you will find he is completely committed to taking the Middle East peace process forward. It is President Bush that on the 24th of June last year made the 2-state speech, the first American president to do it. It was President Bush who also said, however, he needed interlocutors that he could work with, which is why he was so keen on getting a Palestinian Prime Minister in place that was someone that we could trust and work with. We've now got that. It's President Bush who said that he would publish the roadmap, and that will happen as the Legislative Council of the Palestinian Authority endorse Mr. Abu Mazen's cabinet. And it's not I wouldn't take what my officials say, what Israeli officials say, what anyone else says. I'd take the words of President Bush because they're good enough for me, and I think they're good enough for you.
With the fact that one wealthy person has given Labour £11.5 million